going on, New York Giants fans? Welcome back to another Roster Bubble Series video. Training camp has begun. It's definitely an exciting week. Get to hear all about it. Training camp news. It's beginning of football season. Very, very slowly. You get this, you get the preseason, you get the regular season. Even before that, the 53 roster cut down. In my mind, it's sad, but it's also a pointer. Hey, football season. It's almost here. With that being said, today's candidate is a very interesting candidate, probably one of the most disliked in the Giants fan base. And I can't see why not. I happen to be a part of that fan base. I happen to be a part of the crew that does not like this certain guy. Not going to lie to you there. This guy is a guy by the name of Sam Beal. Yes, it's Sam Beal. This guy's career, and we got to put it this way because we tell the truth on the Big Blue in the Bronx channel. We don't lie to you. We don't sugarcoat it. We're going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth. This guy's career has been an absolute effing mess. It's what it has been. You look at 2018, where the Giants wasted a third-round pick on this guy. Third round in the supplemental draft. They later got that back because of the Odell Beckham Jr. trade. But, with that being said, that does not go unchecked, meaning the supplemental draft move. The Giants selected him out of Central Michigan in the third round of the supplemental draft. They forfeited their third round, but once again, as I said, they selected, or at least they got back, a third round pick in the OBJ trade. Now, Sam Beal, a couple days into training camp, shoulder injury, immediately out for the season. Sucks, because we could have really used the depth at cornerback. And the unfortunate part is, and this is one of the things that I rip Dave Gettleman for, honestly. My personal thing, this is a lot of people don't talk about this, or they do, they just don't bring the other part up, or don't think that this was a need or whatever. I thought that a cornerback pick would have been a better pick than Kyle Lauletta. Obviously, we know how that turned out, and he was cut a year later, and blah, 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 and blah, blah, frickin' blah. With that being said, 2019, first, say about 10 games, hamstring injury, played a little bit in the preseason, but when he was practicing later on, during the preseason, or he was, injured in the beginning, whatever it was, whether it's at the tail end of the preseason or the beginning of the preseason, he had an hamstring injury immediately to IR. And a lot of people started getting angry. What the hell is this? Why did we select this guy? I was mad too, and I'm still mad that we picked him because he's a waste of roster space. Now, there's quite a possibility that he gets cut, maybe the middle of the preseason if, let's just say, a guy goes down or something like that and they don't want to put him on IR. You could see a guy like Sam Beal cut. With that being said, though, he did play 6 games in the 2019 season. He started 3 of them. Had 1 pass deflection, 26 tackles, 1 safety. That was against the Miami Dolphins. He allowed a completion percentage of 76.2, gave up 1 touchdown, 171 yards, allowed 16 completions on 21 targets, a passer rating of 115.4. So not great. I'm not going to totally blame him there because James Bettcher absolutely did not know what to do with the corners. 1 minute Corey Ballentine was in the slot, 1 minute Sam Beal was in the slot. It was a shit show because the coaching staff had no idea what the hell they were doing. And I'm not saying that, the roster talent was perfect. Of course not. But you have to make do. Patrick Graham, a lot of people questioned the hiring after he got hired from Miami. Oh, Miami, like the 30th best defense in 2019. Well, he came over and, he benefited the players through his scheme. Isaac Yiadom looked like a saint and looked like a god-tier corner in his scheme compared to what Sam Beal looked like in James Bettcher's scheme. That's the obvious truth. I think it is. With that being said, after that, 2020, he opts out. That's his thing. That's your decision, Sam. Just like Nate Solder, just like Damari Scott, that is your decision. But, like Nate Solder, you can't waddle around it with that excuse or reasoning. Because Nate Solder, the Giants didn't give two craps about his situation. They did. I should rephrase that. But they weren't going to use that and say, oh, we got to keep the, what was it, like $16 million cap hit on him? They restructured Nate Solder's contract. And the equivalence to that the Giants could do with Sam Beal is cut him. We'll talk about that at the end. But the Giants ain't going to come here and say, especially Joe Judge, they're not going to come in here and say, oh, Sam, you took off last year. That's your decision. We're going to give you a roster spot. Absolutely not. It's somewhat of a clean slate because Beal was not, looked at by the Judge coaching staff. But this ain't going to be some freaking, free roster spot, first come, first serve. It is that. But they're not going to say, oh, Sam Beal was off last year. This is reserved for him. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And it shouldn't be that way. It should not be that way. With that being said, here is his competition for the preseason. Isaac Yiadom, Quincy Wilson, who is the former Jet and Indianapolis Colts cornerback, Madre Harper, the former Raiders and, now a Giants cornerback, Aaron Robinson, the pick out of University of Central Florida in the third round, Darnay Holmes, the UCLA pick from a year ago, Radarius Williams, the sixth round pick out of the University of Oklahoma State University, whatever the hell it's called, Jaron Williams, the undrafted free agent out of Albany, Chris Milton, he was a former Titans and I think Indianapolis cornerback, I want to say. Mostly special teams, though. But let's get into it. So, who can he beat and how can he make it? He needs the training camp preseason of his lifetime. That is no doubt to me. He needs the training camp and preseason of a lifetime. And he's facing a super uphill battle. I don't usually prequel this, but I will. I think he can beat Jaron Williams, Chris Milton, and Madre Harper, but I think he can lose to Quincy Wilson, Yiadom, Darnay Holmes, Radarius Williams, and Aaron Robinson. Now, obviously, once again, if you don't stay healthy in the preseason, especially this year for Sam Beal, I don't think he's making it. That's just I don't think he's making it now, but if you get hurt, you're beating a dead horse, my personal opinion. You're making it worse for yourself, in my personal opinion, but once again, how can he make it? He has to have the training camp of a lifetime, as I said. He has to beat out the other corners. And it's going to be, once again, as I mentioned, an uphill battle. Because I think he can lose to Quincy Wilson because Quincy Wilson has slightly better experience, or slightly more experience, if you will. Radarius Williams, well, he's going to be favored, in my opinion, by the coaching staff because they'll think, oh, he's got some issues, but that's stuff we can, help him develop through, help him fix. Aaron Robinson, third-round pick, there's no way he's beating a third-round pick. Not happening. Unless, for some sort of reason, Robinson gets injured. God forbid. Darnay Holmes, he ain't beating Darnay Holmes, especially after the last year, towards the end, where Darnay Holmes didn't give up a single touchdown to any receiver. Anyone at all. He was, I think, the best in that category. Didn't give up a touchdown to anybody as a rookie cornerback. With minimum of something snaps, whatever. Isaac Yiadom, I may not like the guy, but Isaac Yiadom can kick Sam Beal's ass. Isaac Yiadom has had so much more experience. And they were both selected in the third round of their drafts. But Isaac Yiadom definitely made a presence last year, whether it be small or big at times. And once again, I don't like him, and I don't really think he should make the roster as a starting corner. That's likely not going to happen. I don't like the way he tackles and a couple other issues. But definitely I would choose him over Sam Beal because Sam Beal has only played, 6 games in his career. And obviously, once again, back to Quincy Wilson. He can beat Williams because Jaron Williams has only had special team snaps in 1 game in his NFL career. Chris Milton only, or mainly, special team snaps with the Titans and the Colts. And Madre Harper, basically the same thing. Didn't do a lot in the game against the Eagles. Actually gave up the game-winning touchdown. Or was the touchdown before that, that he gave up. but wasn't necessarily the greatest in coverage. So how can he lose? Once again, getting injured and just playing terribly. I think this is his job to win, for lack of better words. Because right now, in my opinion, as a projection, 100% chance to lose. 100% chance. I am not really leaving a pocket in my projection for him to make the roster. And you can't even make the practice squad because he's already had 3 years of eligibility. This ain't no 16-man practice squad like it was last year where you could pick some random guy that's played 7 years and stash him on the practice squad. No, it's going to be after 3 years of eligibility, you're done. That's what it is. That's the rule. That's what they go by. So as a projection, Sam Beal gets cut. Maybe some team picks him up. Maybe he's out of the NFL. Who the hell knows? Maybe someone takes a flyer on him at the waiver wire. But with that being said, does not make the roster whatsoever. He could impress, but I think it's a little too late in the game. It's beating a dead horse. With that being said, guys, if you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on that notification button so you get notified when the live stream pops and video drops. More videos out like this, more Yankee videos out through the week. Boys in the Big Apple has been moved to Fridays, 8:10 p.m. And also to note, NBA Draft live stream with Clutch B-Ball TV Thursday. And Luca and Clutch should have a pre-draft show that's going to be interesting. So, with that being said, guys, peace out, see you later, and stay cool.